And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live. We're on the road here today at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Oh, yes, the banana pudding milkshake's here. Oh, yes. We've also got the brand new honey pepper pimento sandwich that's here. And everything else on the Chick-fil-A menu. But again, a banana pudding milkshake. Had it the other day. Going to have it again today. It's awesome. Real bananas with crushed up vanilla wafer cookies crumbled in. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. Going to be joined by Andrew Smith, sports writer from the Johnson City Press. He'll join us coming up here in just a little while. We're going to be joined also by Greg Sire talking Major League Baseball and Jeff Birchfield. Going to swing by and talk NASCAR. Big weekend, final weekend in NASCAR down in Darlington. A lot of pressure on some of the drivers that are not in the playoffs. So we'll take a look at that. The playoffs start next week, and they'll be coming to Bristol in 2 or 3 weeks, ready to go for the Bass Pro Shop night race. All that coming up here on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Birthdays today. Former baseball manager and player Lou Piniella is 81. Former Major League pitcher Ron Guidry from the Yankees fame, 74 today. Olympic gold medal skater Scott Hamilton, 66. Shania Twain having a birthday today. Shania would have, 59 candles on her birthday cake today. And Leanne Rimes is having a birthday today. Those two girls can sing, or ladies. And Leanne Rimes having a birthday. She's 42. Those are the birthdays again on this Wednesday. Yes, and we're glad we're here and glad you're with us. And let's jump in and get it going with the national anthem. We'll take a look at take a look at whatever we need to take a look at. Here's T.R. Dunn to do the national anthem for you from right here in Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave.
Great job by T.R. Dunn right here in Johnson City. If that don't get you fired up. Hello, Danny Birchfield. How you doing, sir? Looking good, ain't you? You what? No, you look sharp. I mean, how much you lost?
80 pounds.
80 pounds. See, living proof he can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. The man lost 80 pounds, and I got to slim down, and he did, and he has. He works here. Never wants to be on camera, and I get that. I understand. Let's take a look at volleyball last night. We broadcasted a 3-0 win over Sullivan East. Allie Stout, Ainsley Wampler, and J.C. Shell were our players of the game last night. Science will beat Westridge 3-0. Daniel Boone 3-2 over Tennessee High. Crockett's ladies beat William Blunt 3-0. Dobbins Bennett beat Maryville 3-0. William Blunt over Dobbins Bennett 2-1. Actually, they shortened those because it was a 14. Sullivan East will play and host Hampton at home. So there you go. Well, don't know why she froze up, but here we go. Hope this is not going to be modern technology. Some days it works great. Some days, hopefully it's just one little glitch itch. I don't know. I have no control over it. So, anyway, soccer from yesterday. Tennessee High beat Elizabethton 10-1. Volunteers 6-0 over Cherokee. Greenville beat Granger 7-0. Science Hill blanks Westridge 9-0. These are lopsided soccer scores to be sure. Morristown West a little closer. Unicoi County 2-1 beat them. Providence Academy over University High 4-1. Crockett beat East 3-1 in girls soccer. And Union County beat Claiborne 5-4 in girls soccer. So that's what happened there in soccer. Happy birthday to Shania 20 in today. She is having a birthday. Shania with 59 candles on her birthday cake. And Leanne Rhymes having a birthday. She is 42 today. Knows the birthdays again on this Wednesday. All right. Major League Baseball, we got that to take a look at coming up. We're going to take a break, come out of here, and we got Andrew Smith going to join us here in a few minutes. We'll take a look at some high school football. Major League Baseball, the new leader in the division. Yep, got ourselves a new one. So, and we got a breaking story. Again, it continues to change. The ever-changing world of college football. As we're getting ready to start the season, basically tomorrow night. Although we had games last week, as you know, Florida State got beat by Georgia Tech and Ireland. But we will have a new rule, which is crazy. Let me get this for you. Oh, there it is. We'll take a break. We'll get to show you this new rule. It's just came off the mountaintop. Here's Brent Venables, head football coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, talking about them joining the Southeastern Conference. Of course, they're new. Texas and Oklahoma now in the SEC. Here's Venables talking about joining the Southeastern Conference on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Well, again, I think it's a partnership of elite with elite. And, you know, again, two programs that in the history of college football take a backseat to nobody. The SEC doesn't take a backseat to anybody. From our leadership to the quality of the teams, and really it's every single athletic team on those campuses. It's unmatched, and so we both have programs that have had elite level success with all of our athletic programs, certainly football included, and I just think it fortifies what was already the strongest conference in all of college football.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 2138. We're cranking them and clipping them off here, heading to, I guess our next stop will be 2200, which will be, I don't know, probably another 8 or 10 weeks. That puts you close to, I don't know, November, Thanksgiving, somewhere through there. I don't know. We'll just keep on trucking. Here's the verses of the day. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We got two new rulings from college football. One's going to tighten things up. I think it's a good move by college football. It's my opinion. Regarding the transfer portal, we'll tell you about that in a moment. Here's the verse of the day. Now, this is what's going to happen for us when we have a desire for God, to obey Him, to lean on Him, to live for Him. Here's what He says He's going to do. It's a promise out of the book of Psalms. Psalms 91, verses 14, 15, and 16. How about this? This is great, man. I love putting this one out here today. Because He loves me, says the Lord, talking about me and you, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. Verse 15, check this out. This is coming from God. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. Talking about me and you. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Whew, lousy mercy. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Wow. You know, I didn't get the bell out. I told myself we'll get the bell out. Hang on, we'll get the bell out. That's worth a ding right there. Hit the bell, son. Hit the bell. There you go. How about that? Let me read it one more time. Hello, Jimmy Stout. Hello, Sheriff Fraley. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. That's worth another bell. I love it. There you go. Psalms 91, 14, 15, and 16. All right, so let's take a look at these two college situations here. I like this one about the transfer portal. They're going to propose, they being college football, to do away with the spring transfer portal. Going back to a single, it's not in there yet, but they're talking about it. So normally when they talk about it, they do it. Moving to a single off-season notification transfer window. Under this proposal, the 30-day transfer window will be in December. The lone opportunity for players to enter their name in the transfer portal and to seek a new school. For the last 2 years, they've had also a 15-day window in April. They want to eliminate that. They want to cut that out. I like it. Hello, Pete Welch. Hello, Michael Stansberry. I like it. I like it a lot. Hope they do it, because that will cut down on everybody just taking off, and with good reason, why they want to make this change. This year, more than 900 scholarship players entered the portal in the month of April. How can you coach when you just never know who's going to be out there, and they can leave on the drop of a hat. So now they are proposing to go back to one transfer portal window for 15 days in December. And once you've done that, you're there till next December. I like that. Hope they do it. It's a proposal. Let's see, when they're going to do it. Football committee also approved a blanket waiver. This is the other one. Approved a blanket waiver for the 2024 season, guaranteeing that players that want a red shirt during the season are permitted to play in any postseason games without accounting towards their 4-game limit. Don't get that one. Football, let me read that again. Football Oversight Committees also approved a blanket waiver for the upcoming season, guaranteeing that players wishing the red shirt during the season are permitted to play in any postseason game. So if I'm reading that right, and this is my first time I read it, so I got a cipher and study on it, but that means I don't want to play in games 5, 6, and 7. I want to play in the championship game when it counts. I think that's what it means. Wishing the red shirt during the season are permitted to play in any postseason game without accounting towards their 4-game limit. I have to study up a little bit more on that one. Among the reasons for the change, the transfer windows that were implemented during this 2023 season. Florida State, for example, lost more than 24 players between opt-outs for the NFL draft and transfer portal during the Orange Bowl. Under these new rules, Florida State's red shirts could participate in the bowl game without penalty. No, I don't buy that. I disagree with that one. So you're going to pick and choose when you want to play when it comes down, if I'm reading this right. So, and they've approved this one, so I'm sorry, they have not. I'll take that back. If approved, it would take effect 2024-2025 school year, which will be this year, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, this is 2024 next year. Yeah, it'll be this year if they approve it. So, nope, I read the wrong article. I'm sorry. I'm reading two at once here. This rule, the redshirt rule, goes into effect immediately. The new rule, which goes into effect for this season, limits redshirting players to 4 games but will not count conference championship, bowl, and college football playoff games towards that number. Again, Florida State last year lost more than 24 guys between opt-outs and NFL draft and transfer portal during the Orange Bowl. Under this new rule, Florida State redshirts could participate in the bowl game without penalty. Nah. Hello, how are you? I'm not buying that one. So you can't pick and choose when you want to play. Negatory, ain't happening. We have a young lady from United Way here. She's in the house. We've got Andrew Smith here in the house. We've got coming up Jeff Birchwood in the house talking NASCAR. We got Greg Sawyer talking baseball. We're going to talk a little United Way here. We met this young lady, I guess you know this, at the live broadcast a couple of weeks back during the golf tournament, and she said, I would like to come and talk as often as I can about United Way. We're in the campaign. We're helping nonprofits. Then we got Andrew Smith talking Tennessee football, East Tennessee State football, Braves baseball, and high school sports. We got him busy. She joins us next on the Tom Dooley Sports Show. Loyal, buy local. He's up against the big boy chains. We know that. Why Big John's Closeouts? What do you feel like separates you from the chains?
Well, I think there's a number of factors I think that go into that. Number one, we're local folks. We shop with you all in other places. We go to church with you. We're involved in civic organizations with you. What money you spend here stays here. You know, it goes to support the payroll and, of course, local taxes. As far as that goes, it also supports a lot of nonprofits as well as sports teams, little leagues, softball, all kind of different things we try to support. We support all the high schools, both city and county, you know, either through, fence signs or gymnasium signs or whatever with yearbooks and the whole bit. So, what you're spending local is staying local. And also we believe, customer service. I came up through the Patey Lumber Company ranks from many years ago. 1977 is when I started. And if you didn't get up and wait on people, or you didn't speak to people, or you didn't try to help people, you wouldn't go to stick around very long. So you learned, that it was important, not only to try to just ask people, but to listen, find out what they're trying to do, find out ways that you can help them as far as that goes. And so all that's very important to us.
There you go, folks. Be loyal, buy local, support them. Big John's Closeouts here in downtown Elizabeth with hammer high prices. Great sponsor of the Tom Dooley Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports, Big John's Closeouts.
Behind every Food City meat and seafood counter is a highly trained, certified butcher that can offer seafood meal prep, suggest the perfect sides to pair, and even steam and peel your shrimp. All at no extra cost. In fact, you'll be so impressed with our butchers, you'll be asking yourself, what can't they do?
I bet he'd be great at helping with the laundry.
Okay, well, maybe not that. But at Food City, our butchers make almost everything better.
Back on the Tom Dooley Sports Show, look who stopped by. She'll be coming once a month, and I'm glad she is, because we're going to talk just for a minute or two, for a few minutes, about United Way. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good.
Great.
Good. Leslie Dalton. And I didn't put you on the screen. Let's put you down there where you shame on me. I'm going to put you, boom, there she is. She is in a place to put it. She's the executive director, United Way of East Tennessee Highlands. We met her a couple of weeks ago at the golf tournament. It went pretty good, didn't it?
It was great.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Weather was perfect.
Raised money?
Yep.
Yep. How many agencies are we serving?
We're serving 29 right now.
29 agencies. Again, these are nonprofits. They cover the spectrum from little people, baby boomers, seniors. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Campaign's underway. What's the goal right now?
Yeah, campaign's underway. Start August 1st. We'll end December 31st, and our goal is $1 million.
$1 million. Are we well on our way?
We are. We're
Yes,
getting there.
We're getting there. And we know the economy's, things are tight. We get that. We know that. But again, folks understand the importance of helping nonprofits. And so out of those 29 agencies, let's go with one that takes care of little people for babies and young people. Tell me about one of those.
Yeah, so our after-school programs, we support both Boys and Girls Club in Carter County and Washington County. and Coalition for Kids, and those programs give kids a place to go before and after school. And so a lot of times parents are working, sometimes 2 jobs, and those kids need a healthy snack after school, a mentor, some help with their reading and homework, and those places provide that for them.
It is not a babysitting service. They keep them hopping.
Yes.
I mean, they teach them, they do academics, they do help them with their schoolwork. So hello, Julie Payne and Roger Franklin. So if you think it's a babysitting service, it is not. They do a lot. Been over there at the Boys and Girls Club, and they do great work. So that's one for the little people that you can give. We'll tell you how you can give here coming up in a minute. Everything's going to help. I'm going to put it to the test too. Like if we give $50, what we'll do and all that. So babies, all right, tell me about an agency that takes care of baby boomers, adults.
Yeah, so you mentioned sort of economy being tight, and we know that. And so we have an agency called Appalachian Opportunity Fund, and they do one-on-one financial coaching. And so if somebody needs something as simple as a budget or as complex as getting out of a payday loan, or maybe selling and purchasing a car that better fits into their budget, they help with all of that. And they do one-on-one coaching. It's very individualized, and they'll walk them through every single step. And because we support them, some of that can be free of charge. Most of it can be free of charge.
Coming up, Andrew Smith's here. He's going to talk Tennessee football season opener Saturday against UT Chattanooga. The Bucks go to Boone, take on App State. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about his Braves red hot, and we'll talk about high school football. So Andrew's here. He joins us coming up here in a few minutes. That's the baby boomers. So tell me about an agency with United Way of East Tennessee Highlands that helps seniors.
Yeah, so that one's our My Ride program with the senior centers. And so we have it at Jonesboro, we have it in Elizabethton, and we have it in Johnson County. And this is an opportunity for seniors to get a ride to not only important things like doctor's appointments, but some things that they consider, and we consider just as important, haircuts and shopping and things like that. And not only is the ride important, but that interaction with the volunteer. Sometimes that's the only interaction these seniors have with somebody all week. And so they develop really strong friendships and relationships. And it's just a way for our seniors to have that help when maybe they just don't have family members that can provide it.
We need your money, folks. Again, your area covers.
So we're Washington, Carter, and Johnson counties.
Yeah. Washington for the out-of-towners is Johnson City. Carter for the out-of-towners is Elizabethton. And Johnson County would be, the county seat would be Mountain City. So everybody in all points in between. There's a lot of folks in those 3 counties. So $50 a month. I know you'd love for somebody to pledge. Okay, I can give you $1,000 a month, which would be great, and some do. $50 a month. I know you'll stretch it to the nth degree. What would that do for $50 a month?
Oh yeah, I mean with $50 a month we could do a lot. That would at least serve 10 kids in an after-school program.
There you go. $75 a month.
75, we could do 10 kids and 5 seniors could get a ride.
So what's the biggest you've been to ED for how long?
Almost 5 years now.
5 years. So what is the biggest misconception out there about United Way? What the folks you constantly have to remind them and kind of go, no, so what is it?
I think since we have a global brand, people think the money goes outside of our county, and it doesn't. It all stays local. We have a local board. We have a 1% fee that we give to United Way Worldwide, but that pays for all of our branding, all of our training, all of our continuing education. And so it really goes right back into the community. We don't support any nonprofits outside of our community. It's all local.
So the money you give stays here, stays local. That's probably the biggest misconception?
Yes, that's a lot of people think because we're a national global brand that we give to people outside of our community, but we don't. We're very localized.
So it's real simple. When you give local, stays local.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
that simple. So campaign's underway. Again, serving Washington, Carter, and Johnson counties. And again, how can we give? How can we say, yeah, I'll give you $20 a month, $50 a month, whatever?
Yeah, you can go on our website. It's United Way, ETNH.org. That's East Tennessee Highlands. Or just give us a call, 423-220-1229.
Making a difference. 220-1229.
Yes,
There
correct.
you go. Good stuff. So what do you want to leave us with?
I just leave you with, every little bit helps. There's not a penny that doesn't go. unused in our community. And like I said, it's local, and you're helping your friends, family, and your neighbors.
It's just that easy, folks, and we need your help. And so 220-1229, or I didn't get that one. You got to help me.
All right, United Way, ETNH.org,
There you go.
EastTennesseeHighlands.org.
An old country boy, I can remember 220-1229. So call them, or again, go to the website. She said, please consider giving. We need your help. All the money, she says, whatever you give stays local to help the folks in Washington, Carter, and Johnson counties here in our backyard. And we need it, and the campaign's underway, $1 million campaign, and it's ongoing until the end of December 31st, and it's can never take it for granted, can we?
We can. Every penny helps.
Every penny helps, and every penny is appreciated. So,
Yes.
see you next month.
Yep.
Nice job. Leslie Dalton, the Executive Director, United Way of East Tennessee Highlands, back after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're talking to our great sponsor of Cyclone Sports and Tom Taylor Sports Show, Dr. Smith, and the folks at Physical Therapy Services. For those out there who have no clue, tell us what it's all about.
Physical Therapy Services is a local mom and pop run physical therapy and occupational therapy clinic. We have clinic locations. We have 3 locations, 2 in Elizabethton, 1 in Roan Mountain. Our main office, where I'm located at 1975 West Elk Avenue, we focus on adults and athletic injuries. We have a pediatric clinic at 1500 West Elk Avenue that does both physical therapy and occupational therapy for the little kiddos out there. And then we have a clinic in Roan Mountain as well to take care of our wonderful Carter Countyans in the Roan Mountain community, and all focused on orthopedics and sports-related injuries, along with just general concerns with patients and people that want to be able to get out and move better. The human body is made to move, and that's what we try to do, is keep people moving.
Keep people moving. Hours are open.
7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Social media, how do we find out more about you?
Physical Therapy Services on Facebook. Look us up. You can also find us online at ptstn.net. And or you can just call the office, 423-543-0073, and we will put you in touch with the right people to get you the correct care that you need, whether it's through us or through one of our other affiliates that we work with.
There you go. One of our great sponsors, love promoting them. Again, the great folks at Physical Therapy Services, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Eddie Pless and yours truly this Friday night. Another non-conference matchup as the Cyclones host the Morristown West Trojans at Citizens Bank Stadium. Both teams looking for the first win, as last Friday night, the Trojans lost to their crosstown rival, Morristown East, 26-14. Airtime at 6:50, kickoff at 7:30 Friday night. The Cyclones and Morristown West, it all starts again at 6:50 this Friday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube and on the Cyclone Network. Go Cyclones! Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We are live here again. Thanks to Leslie coming by, talking United Way. They need our help, folks. Please consider giving. As you heard her say, everything you give stays local, and it covers Washington, Carter, and Johnson counties here in Northeast Tennessee. Hello, Mr. Smith. How are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. Glad to be back. Another Wednesday is here.
Comes around pretty quick, and I like it. So don't forget, folks, the banana pudding milkshake's out, and it's good. Bananas, real bananas, crushed up vanilla wafer cookies crumbled into the drink, whipped cream and a cherry on top. Woo, doggies, that's good stuff here now.
Underrated part of the vanilla wafers, 100%.
Oh, yes. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. So, let's start with Buck football. The Bucks open up in Appalachia State on Saturday. Buccaneer football in Boone. App State, new coach, tough test to open up over there. That's a good football program at Appalachia State. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough hill to climb, or I should say mountain to climb, with they're playing the Mountaineers over in Boone. For the Bucks, I like what Trey Lamb's been doing here. First preseason here with the Bucks, but Appalachian State's one of the top group of 5 programs in all of college football. So certainly not the easiest of openers for the Bucks. I think a lot of what Trey Lamb is hoping to do is just being able to see what he has, see what might work, what might not work, and ultimately just kind of see what you can build upon for the rest of the season.
We'll see. It'll start on Saturday for the Buccaneers. Down in Knoxville it starts too. The Vols take on UT Chattanooga. What's your take on that game?
Well, I'll be down in Knoxville for that one, so that'll be fun. But it's from Tennessee's perspective, it's get out to a big lead early and don't get anybody hurt. You're playing, although UTC is one of the higher end FCS programs in the country. I think they're preseason ranked 8th in the FCS coaches poll, but still, you're a 15th ranked in the country in the FBS rank, so you would think you'll be able to handle the Mocs pretty easily. Obviously, all eyes will be on Nico Iamaleava, but I think it's a good opener for him. Allow him to kind of get his feet wet, kind of experience being the starting quarterback in Neyland for a game day, but it's not going to be anything too crazy for him. All expectations would be that the Vols would roll.
Preseason Southern Conference favorite UT Chattanooga, so it's not exactly a cream puff.
No, not at all.
It's going to be a pretty good. I think it's going to be a pretty good ball game, pretty good test. I think Tennessee's going to prevail. A lot of pressure on Nico. I mean, that's all we've heard for the last year and a half or last year. He's here. He played a little bit in the bowl game. Now he's ready to go. It's his team. Milton's gone. Everybody's gone. It's Nico's team. So a lot of pressure. I think that one of the biggest storylines of this game is, can he handle that? I mean, they expect this guy to go out here and throw touchdowns all over the field with no interceptions. He's making $2 million a year. Everybody's brought that up. That he's getting paid a lot of NIL. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Nico, and I think we'll see how he can handle it, because everything he's done in the offseason has been under a microscope. So you think does that justify a lot of pressure on him?
I think so. I mean, he came in as the number 2 overall recruit according to 24/7 Sports in his class, only behind Arch Manning. But yeah, I think there'd be a lot of pressure there. But Monday in Josh Heupel's press conference, he talked a lot about the idea of it's not just Nico. When trying to make the offense go and trying to make things work, it takes all 11. It takes pass protection, it takes run blocking, it takes backs knowing assignments, receivers running good routes. So, while there's pressure on Nico, it is a team game after all. He needs his supporting cast to support.
Other games, the obvious, the number 1 team in the country, Georgia, should be a good test against Clemson. Who you like there, Georgia or the Tigers in the upset?
I'll lean Kirby and the Georgia Bulldogs. And that game's in Atlanta, which it doesn't mean it's a true home game, but it's basically a home game for Georgia. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Carson Beck is one of the top returning quarterbacks in the country. They've got a ton of talent all over the field, and I think Clemson will give them a good run. I don't think it'll be a blowout, at least not early. Georgia may pulls away late and win by a few scores, but yeah, it should be a very good test in Atlanta Saturday afternoon.
A couple of other big games. Of course, you've got Notre Dame and Texas A&M. What do you think about that one?
That's going to be fun. I think a lot of people have kind of pegged Texas A&M as a sleeper in the SEC with Connor Wegman, Mike Elko, now the head coach of the Aggies, and another opening week test there. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish expected to be in the playoff picture. 12th man's hard to go win at, so I might lean A&M just because of the home field, and it's tough to go down there and win Aggieland.
Another game involving ranked teams, Southern Cal on Sunday taking on LSU in Baton Rouge. Who do you like there?
Let's see. Actually, I think that one's in Vegas. I believe it's a neutral site in Vegas. But yeah,
you're right. It's at the Raiders Stadium. You're right.
Yeah. So big question for me in that game is, has Southern California improved their defense? Because that has been their Achilles heel the entirety of the Lincoln Riley era there. They can put up points, but they haven't been able to stop anybody else from putting up points either. And actually, I guess for both sides, defense is a bit of a question mark, because last year, LSU, they had a good offense. Jaden Daniels went and won the Heisman. Obviously, he's gone now, but still a lot of those same pieces are still there. But the reason LSU wasn't in the playoff, or even remotely in the picture, their defense had their struggles as well. So I think whichever team has been able to figure out the defensive side of the ball, able to get some key stops. I think both teams will be able to put up some points, but which team can get the key stop in the fourth quarter?
Another game to be watching in the Southeastern Conference, Florida hosting the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday. A lot of pressure on Napier. He's got a killer schedule this year. Who wins this one in Gainesville? Will it be the Gators at home or the Hurricanes on the road? It's also a big recruiting game in the state of Florida.
Oh, it absolutely is. And before we talk about the on the field, I just want to know whose decision was it to put two teams on the field in the middle of Florida at 3:30 in the afternoon on Labor Day weekend. It is going to be a scorcher in Gainesville on Saturday.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't understand why that was not a night game, but I digress on that one. But yeah, I think whoever there's a lot of pressure on both Billy Napier and Mario Cristobal. I think whoever comes up short, that fan base is going to put them even on an even hotter seat. I mean, that's a toss-up game for me. It really is. I don't even fully know who I would pick right now. Maybe lean Florida because of home field, but Miami's got a lot of talent on that roster. Now, a lot of it has maybe not lived up to its potential up to this point, but who's to say that this season it won't, you know? So.
Hello, Travis Lemming. Hello, Jesse Harden. How you all doing? Thanks for being with us. We're here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Connie Helms. Hello to Loretta Sanders. Hello to Sandra Dennis. Hello to Amy Whitson. Hello, Ames. How you doing? Cody Taylor. Julie Payne, Roger Franklin, Michael Stansberry, Pete Welch, Jimmy Stout down in Georgia, Sheriff Fraley, hello sir, Larry Peters, also Miss Clowney down in Union, South Carolina. She's with us every week now, and I love it. Thank you very much. In fact, she's with us every day. So, golf playing at Warriors Path this morning. Oh, I got you. They're playing, I understand. So, there you go. They've got a match today playing at Warriors Path today for the Betsy golf team. We're talking again to our buddy Andrew Smith on the screen. So, every game now with the college football playoffs, I mean, Florida State loses last week in Dublin to Georgia Tech. So now everybody's saying, well, they're out of the playoffs. They've only played one game, you know, and so, I mean, everybody's right. It's nuts. Our society is crazy. We put so much emphasis on everything, and it's like, they're over with. It's doomed. It's one cotton-picking game. Now, did it hurt their chances? Didn't help. But you don't know what's going to happen down the rest of the season. So automatically all these yahoos say, well, Florida State's out. And I'm not Seminole fan per se, but I'm thinking it's one stinking game. I mean, everybody else in the ACC could lose every game. And I'm being facetious, but I don't understand how they've immediately wrote them off. So is there more pressure now? Absolutely. But one game does not make a season. So same with Clemson, and that's what Dabo said. We get beat, or if we win Saturday, the train rolls on, and I agree with him 100%. So anyway, Florida State lost, and so they got a big game coming up on Monday against Boston College in Tallahassee. So the Seminoles, one of those ranked teams, will be playing I don't think we'll have any problem with Boston College, but we didn't think we'd have any problem with Georgia Tech. So it is what it is. All right, so the new rule they're proposing, we're talking to Andrew Smith, they're going to vote on in October, is to limit one transfer portal in December for 15 days and eliminate the spring transfer portal, so you get one chance in 15 days in December to swap schools. I like it. I think it cuts down on the transition. As I read before we got on the air, in the spring transfer portal, they had 900 football players or athletes, not necessarily football. Well, yeah, it was football too, transferring from school to school. So that would be eliminated. So you get, if Andrew doesn't like where he's at, he has 15 days in December to make a move, and that's going to be it. So it's not been put into effect yet, but they are talking about it. And usually when they talk about it, they do it. So what's your take on that?
I don't mind it. I definitely think that the amount of times the window opens, especially for football, definitely is a little out of hand. It's definitely hard to keep track of in terms of who's in the portal, who's already committed somewhere, all of that stuff. So definitely trying to put some sort of parameters of, okay, this is the only window we got open, here you go. And it makes sense too, because it allows guys to get to campus before spring ball for winter workouts and kind of integrate themselves into the program before summer camp, much like how you'll have early enrollees for high school show up, a semester early. So I definitely don't mind it.
And The other part of this, too, and you're exactly right, is spring practice. I mean, right now, these coaches don't know who they're going to have. You think going into spring ball, most teams practice in spring practice, and they start in April or end in April and go March, April and May. It staggers depending on what school it is. But most coaches go into spring practice thinking, okay, I got Andrew Smith, but maybe I won't keep him because he can transfer. This way, you get 15 days in December, and that's it. Can't transfer. You can quit, but you can't transfer. And so that way, me going into spring practice as a head coach, at least I know who's going to be on my roster to practice for spring ball. So I think it's a good thing. That's just me, but it's not been voted in yet. But it's on the table. Normally when it's on the table, it goes through. We're talking to Andrew Smith. We are here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. The other rule that is going into effect immediately was the standpoint that you can redshirt. You can sit out 4 games, and you can still redshirt, and you can pick your games, basically. And it goes back to the Florida State scenario last year, and all those guys, over a dozen guys, transferred or didn't play in that game in the Orange Bowl because they're either opting out of the NFL or they're in the transfer portal. So now they're going to set this up so you can redshirt, and you can still play in the championship game and the bowl games. So now you're going to pick and choose when you want to play. That's what it looks like to me. What about you? Is that what it sounds like?
I mean, that kind of was already in effect a little bit because now I don't know if necessarily pick and choosing what games, but we talked about Nico earlier. He's technically a redshirt freshman. Last year, he played in 4 regular season games, and he still got to play in the bowl game due to, I think at that point in time, the rule was if there's opt-outs in front of the player and you have to play him, then it negates that, that 5th game doesn't count against his red shirt. Now, I think it's a little bit not necessarily dependent on who opts out, who does what. It's just straight up, you got 4 games in the regular season you can play in, and also any postseason games your team would qualify for. So, it's definitely a little convoluted. It feels... I feel like I need someone to sit down and explain this to me like I'm 5. But overall, I don't hate it. I think players being able to still play in some games, I think is definitely good. And I don't think one snap should completely negate your red shirt. I'm definitely not that far on that extreme. But I do think that, there has to be some limit put into it in terms of you can't have a guy play half the season and still be eligible for a red shirt.
I agree. Reach here in my satchel, that very top story right there. Maybe it right there. Let's see if that's it. Yeah,
yes, sir.
There it is. So let me read this to you again because I've read it 3 times. I don't get it. So a blanket waiver will exempt postseason games from counting towards redshirt eligibility starting effective immediately. Limits redshirting players to 4 games but will not count conference championship, bowl, and college football playoff games towards that number. So how I'm reading that, and they go down and use this Florida State example. Florida State, for example, lost more than 24 players between opt-outs for the NFL draft and transfer portal during the Orange Bowl after missing the college football playoffs last season. Under the new rules, effective starting today, Florida State redshirts could participate in the bowl game without penalty. With the new 12-team playoff going into effect this year, teams have the potential to play up to 5 postseason games. That would mean that a player could participate in potentially 9 games during a 17-game season without exhausting year of eligibility. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Explain that for me.
Yeah, so...
Because I don't get it.
So basically, the rule that's been... excuse me. The rule that's been in place has, for the past few years, has just been if you play in 4 games... It didn't matter if it was regular season, postseason, conference championship, didn't matter. If you played in more than 4 games, you were no longer eligible to be redshirted. Then they changed the rule now to where it's 4 regular season games.
Okay.
In the past, they had issued those waivers on a case-by-case basis on if somebody got forced into playing a bowl game or whatever, thus with Nico. So now, instead of issuing those waivers on a case-by-case basis, the NCAA just said blanket. Everybody, postseason, doesn't matter. You can play them, and won't count towards your 4.
All right, there you go. It's been clear now. Was clear as mud, a little bit clear, not much, but at least I get it. I can get my arms around that one, understand it. Hello to Christine. Brian Williams says hello, Andrew, and says hello, and Tom. Thank you. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, talking to Andrew Sports Writer, Johnson City Press. So, here we go. We'll talk about your Abagoos here. We'll talk about your Braves in a second. High school football, give us a couple of games, see what you think. Dobyns-Bennett to Greenville.
Dobyns-Bennett Greenville. That we've got that as our Sixers game of the week this week. Should be fun. I expect Greenville to take the win this one. Greenville's won the last 5 in this series. Now, granted, it's not a series they play every year. We were talking about this yesterday. That the last Dobyns-Bennett win the series came in 2001. I apologize to you and anybody else with the next statement. I was not alive the last time Dobyns-Bennett beat Greenville in football. So, it's been a while. It's been a while, but the Green Devils are at home. It's a televised game for WCYB. All momentum is with Greenville, although the Indians got a big win last week. That win against Farragut, I think, will prove to be massive as the year goes on. A little bit of a question with injuries, running back depth for the Indians. I'll lean Greenville.
Lean Greenville. Happy Valley, Unicoi County. Both unbeaten. Both unbeaten.
Happy Valley really relying on a very strong defense, and, well, Unicoi will just spray around with Colby Jones, and it's just going to be strength on strength, in my opinion, there between the Warriors and the Blue Devils. I'll lean Blue Devils. I think the 8-game regular season win streak for the Warriors will come to an end on Friday night, but, it's a very strong defensive team from Happy Valley. They get a turnover or two. I think they'll be able to hang around, maybe make a game of it, maybe even pull off an upset.
Science Hill hosting Anderson County Friday night in their home opener.
Anderson County, as you well know, been at the top of 4A alongside Elizabeth and Greenville for years now, and it's going to be a very tough task for the Hilltoppers. I like a lot of what Anderson County does. They're physical, they're tough, they're hard-nosed, but Science Hill showed that off last week as well. So I'll put that one as a toss-up, maybe a slight Science Hill lean.
Two teams that got beat pretty decisively on Friday night. Tennessee High losing down to Greenville, and Sullivan East losing at home to Johnson County will play at the Stone Castle Friday night. It's been renovated. It's been looks really nice at Stone Castle. They've done a great job refurbishing and renovating that landmark of sorts. It's on the National Historic Register for Historic Places and Landmarks in the country. I think it's the official title. Be that as it may, they're playing there. Tennessee High or East? Who wins that one?
I'll lean Tennessee High. I got to see Sullivan East last week, and I like a lot of their talent, but they are extremely young. And a lot of the times with the youth, it can be undisciplined at times. And Johnson County was really able to exploit that last week in their triple option scheme. Now, granted, Tennessee High doesn't run a triple option, but still, I think there are some things you can exploit defensively from the Patriots just due to a lack of experience, a lack of instinct for the game that only comes from getting reps. It's nothing to do with the players themselves. It's just, hey, these are young guys. It takes a while to learn instincts, learn where to be. So I'll lean Vikings.
Cyclones, last one. Cyclones, Morristown West.
Cyclones, obviously that was a tough loss last week against the Hilltoppers, but I like their chances to bounce back here, although it's a little bit of a road trip to Mo West. I'll lean Cyclones on the road.
Cyclones winning it. All right. Your Braves playing good baseball. You feeling good about them again?
They are playing good baseball. I think that's now, last night with the run over Minnesota, I believe it's now 5 straight series wins. They're starting to figure some things out. You're getting some contributions from guys that you didn't count on at the very beginning of the year. Guys that weren't on the roster at the very beginning of the year, like Gio Urshela. Ramon Laureano has been playing some very good baseball. You're getting contributions from guys, and then Matt Olson's starting to pick it up offensively. Marcelo Ozuna is still being as solid as a rock in the middle of the lineup. So overall, the Braves are playing some very good baseball. However, at the same time, the Phillies are starting to play better baseball, so it's hard to pick up some games in the division now.
They play each other this weekend in Philadelphia. Big series, the Braves and the Phillies in Philly. All right. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. See you next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan. Appreciate it, brother.
Yep. Quick break. We'll be right back. Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press. Up next, Mr. Baseball. Greg Salyer next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Antique mall with over 50,000 square feet of merchandise. We have about 52, 53, give or take, vendors with different items. We have a great selection of everything from antique, which is over 100 years, to vintage, which is 25 years, and then we do have a little bit of new things. We concentrate on the vintage and antique items. So you can find just about anything for yourself, for your home, and gifts. We have a lot of people that take gifts for their grandparents. They remembered they had them, and it's with their family.
Hours are open.
We're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 5:30. Saturdays 10 to 6. Open late for the car shows and anytime they have special events in town.
Need Place, one of our great sponsors of Cyclone football, Duck Crossing in downtown Elizabethton, proud sponsor of Elizabethton Cyclone football.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie's delicious.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, look who's here, Mr. Baseball.
You're holding papers in front of my face. There you go.
Mr. Baseball. Let's keep from behind the curtain. There he is.
There we go.
There you go. Well, I'm jammed up here. It's tight quarters.
It is. It is. Your new little sign out there.
You like it?
I love that. I think that's great.
Well, Neon, thanks to Carrie Taylor. She's coming up for Christmas.
That's awesome.
Isn't she nice?
Yeah,
She's good to me.
Absolutely.
Yep. So
that's fantastic.
We got so much to talk about. We're going to start in the American League Central.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to.
Hello, Gage Reed. Hello to Lisa Baker. Hello to, I'm going to pick this up because it's loud in here. It's getting busy. It's always busy here. Linda Prophet.
I'll grab mine too then.
Judy Townsend. Chris Dixon. Thank you, kids, for watching the show. Gage Reed. We'll tell you one more time. We're not going to say any more about it, but we are going to tell you one more time. Last Friday night, we had 20 states watching our broadcast.
Wow.
It's up over 17. I got to double check. 17, 18,000 views.
Wow.
Probably means nothing to you guys. Baker says, I'm embarrassed to say I went to Chick-fil-A twice yesterday for the pimento sandwich.
Wow.
Come on, Baker.
Twice for the sandwich in one day. Wow.
It won't bother her. She's in shape. So.
Yeah.
But you get it in grilled, original, and spicy now.
So that's new. That's all new.
That and the banana pudding milkshake.
Oh, is it out?
It's out.
I came in this way. I didn't see the.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Had that the other day when I was here Monday.
Okay.
Oh,
banana pudding milkshake.
Banana pudding milkshake.
Wow. Okay.
Real bananas, vanilla wafer cookies crumbled up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You got it. So, all right, let's jump in and talk a little baseball. That's why he's here. He's been dubbed by Steve McCauley Mr. Baseball.
So and if Steve says it, it's
gospel.
It's gospel. That's true.
You got it. So now the American League Central, we've had a meltdown. The Guardians have given it away, and so now it's a race between the Guardians and the Kansas City Royals. Royals beat them again for the third time in 2 days.
Yeah. So Kansas City on that 3-game win streak, 7-3 over their last 10 games. And Cleveland just the opposite, lost 3 in a row, of course, and 3-7 over their last 10 games. Minnesota has faded back just a little bit. They're 2.5 games back in that division. But Kansas City is the real deal. I'm just going to tell you, I've seen these guys play, not in person, but on TV several times this year. And, we talk about we talk about some of the best players in baseball. I'm going to tell you, Bobby Witt Jr.
He's the deal.
He is a top 5, if he is not a top 2 best player in all of baseball right now.
Baker,
No joke.
Baker says, I skip the milkshakes and go straight to the good stuff. There you go. Well, to accent your point, the Royals have won 10 out of the last 13 games are 10-3.
Yeah.
The Guardians have lost 8 of their last 11. So,
Yeah.
and you go back and look on June 25th, the Guardians were 51-26, had the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
And so at that point, same day, the Royals were 43-38 and 10 games back. Since then, needless to say, and obviously, the Royals have the best record in the American League since June 25th at 32-20. Cleveland's gone 24-32. The Royals have erased a 10-game deficit in 2 months, and they're there now. It's on.
Yeah.
And so the Guardians, again, their offense is winning the tank. The trio of Stephen Kwan, Josh Naylor, and Jose Ramirez hitting a combined 229 in August. They were hitting 281 for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So needless to say,
And that's the 3 guys in that lineup that you should be the most fearful of, but they've tanked in August.
they've tanked it. Yep. So,
They have.
So it's a whole new ball game. Wouldn't it be cool? Because we're watching a potential World Series preview now with the Orioles and the Dodgers. We'll talk about that in a
Yeah.
moment. But wouldn't it be cool to have 2 teams out of nowhere, much like the Rangers and Arizona last year, the Kansas City Royals be in the World Series?
That would be awesome.
I'd be for them.
I would too.
I would too.
I would too, because my team is not going to be there. So I,
No.
so I would be for them.
No. They'll wrap up the 4-game set today. It's Michael Wacha against Tanner Bybee. Again, Wacha will go for the Royals, and the Guardians will counter Tanner Bybee. And that's what you got going on today. But we've got ourselves a pennant race. It's pretty exciting, really.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
is.
So we're going to go down through all the pennant races. There's some other ones heating up, too.
Yeah, and we can go ahead and say too, whichever one of those teams wins the division, as it stands right now, the other one would be one of the wild cards.
And the Royals have the tiebreaker right now.
They do.
So if it gets down to who goes in a tiebreaker situation, the Royals would bump the Guardians.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge keeps on doing it. Joined the 1,000 hit club Monday night.
Yeah.
So he has 1,000 career hits and also 308 career home runs. Only one's done more of that. Mark McGwire had more home runs at the time of his 1,000th hit. He had 311. So Judge and McGwire, the only players in baseball history, reached 300 home runs before 1,000 hits.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
That is.
So it's not just his home run prowess.
Yeah.
He hits the ball over the ballpark.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
Yeah. So he hits more than just home runs, because there have been guys in the past that we could talk about. Because it seems like I remember one year that like Dave Kingman batted like 198. It had like 41 home runs and like 58 hits or something like that for the whole season.
Yeah.
41 of them were home runs. It's something crazy like that. Those numbers are probably not right.
But you're close.
That's just off the top of my head. But there was a year like that back in the 70s.
Hello, Michelle Salyer. How you doing? Do we know Michelle Salyer? Is that kin to you?
I don't know.
Spelled the same way, Michelle Williams Salyer. She's watching. It's a new name.
Okay.
Abagoo's over here. His youngest, his pride
My
and joy.
youngest. Yes, she is.
Come over here and stand behind your father real quick. Is your mother watching?
Her grandmother is. Oh, my mother's watching. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But is her mama watching?
Her
Probably
mama's
not.
working.
Probably
so
not.
she's working.
There she is. There's Abagoo.
We'll see if we can get them to watch. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe her sister's leaving to watch since she's going to be on. They won't watch me.
No.
But they might watch if we tell them that she was on.
Yeah. So Rebecca's in Ohio and Hannah's in.
Hannah is in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Well, but she's actually in Colorado right now on her way back from Rhode Island.
There you go. So
yeah, she's been on vacation.
So one's in Colorado, one's in Ohio, and Abagoo's behind us here. What is
Yeah.
it you used to call me? You still call me?
Tommy Toe Tomato.
Tommy Toe Tomato. She's awesome. Love this kid. So anyway, she's here with her Papa Bear hanging out. The Houston Astros going to deal with or picked up veteran outfielder Jason Hayward from the Dodgers, who let him go.
Yeah.
Is that a good pickup?
It could be. I mean, he's not had that bad of a season. Now, last year he had a turnaround, You got to say, because he if you remember when he came up for the Braves, he was like great prospect. Everybody had great expectations of Jason Hayward, and some of that he fulfilled. some of it, maybe not. And he had some rough years, a couple, maybe at least one rough year with the Braves. Went to the Cubs and really had some rough years. I think he was only in St. Louis 1 year maybe, but I got to say, 2023 he turned it around. He had a pretty decent season for the Dodgers last year, and this year, he's not been great, but he's had some clutch hits, some good moments, and things like that. So I'm pulling for the guy. I hope he can do well for the Houston Astros.
He's been a journeyman. He's been around a lot of places.
He has.
The Astros are trying to find somebody to take the spot of Kyle Tucker, who's still out.
Yeah, that's a tough shoes to
a big
fill.
one, yep.
Yeah, that's tough.
Had a shin injury back on June 3rd, still not fouled a ball off his leg and still not back. So how long does it take to get your shin ready?
Yeah, I don't know.
Said he may not come back the rest of the season. So they're looking for somebody to fill the void of Kyle Tucker. And they've tried 6 other outfielders in Houston. They're going to try Jason Hayward.
He was one of the top home run hitters in the league at that time.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's passed, or a lot of those guys, all those guys that were right there with him passed him long ago. But, yeah, he was one of the top home run hitters in baseball. He was, I was voting for him for the All-Star game, actually. So
here's your Evelyn Sires says, love my family. Ev, you're so nice. Ev says, Tom, you're so goofy. We got to get her over here on this show. Just let her stand there like Abigail did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Abigail did. And she'll get her does she like banana pudding?
Oh, yeah. She made some.
She makes banana
pudding. She made some not too long ago.
Oh, yes. We remember that from one of the cover dish dinners that Ev made banana pudding one time.
So she made it probably 2-3 weeks ago. It was good. It was really good.
Here's today's schedule, Major League Baseball. A lot of day games. Cubs in Pittsburgh, Kansas City and Cleveland wrapping up that series we told you. Houston and Philadelphia. Tampa Bay and Seattle. Night games, the Angels in Detroit. Reds hosting Oakland. Yankees in Washington. Red Sox hosting Toronto. The Braves, Chris Sale, 14-3 against David Festa. FESTA against the Twins tonight. Series wrap up there. Padres and the Cardinals in St. Louis. Texas and Chicago to battle the 101-loss White Sox. San Francisco, Milwaukee. Miami at Colorado. The Mets in Arizona. And another great matchup on the mound tonight. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers and Corbin Burns for the Orioles in L.A. at Dodger Stadium. So
yeah,
there you go. I've tried at night. I don't know how to do it. I get on there and I just go down through there. I'm trying to find. I love to hear their play-by-play guy. I can't ever. How do you find him? I don't know how to find it. I don't want to watch him. I just want to listen to the guy call the game.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
So the only way that I really know to do it is if you have MLB.com or MLB.TV thing. You can listen to the game instead of watching it if you want to. That's an option, but that's not. That's the MLB thing that you got to subscribe to. But that's the only way I know that you can actually get it. Yeah, there might be a way to get on the website of their.
Well, you type in
flagship station. You know.
I typed in Baltimore Oriole Radio.
Okay,
and it pops up the station.
Okay,
and I go to the station, and it won't let me get on. And I'm sure it's me.
I'm sure it's probably not you. It's probably that they black it out because they want you to subscribe to the MLB thing.
They want my money.
So MLB forces them to black it out. Because I've tried that with WLW at the Reds before, and it's not on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they want me to pay to listen to the ball games.
Yeah.
I'll just wait and read about it the next day. There you go. All right, let's take a look at pennant races. We talked about the American League Central. Another one's heating up and has been heating up all year, the American League East. The Yankees lead Baltimore by 1 now. Yankees lost one. They're 5-5 over the last 10. Orioles 1-1, of course, over the Dodgers last night, and they're now 5-5 their last 10. So it's basically a 2-horse race. Red Sox are flirting with a wild card, but right now, to win the division, it's the Yankees and the Orioles, and this one's going to go right down to the wire, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, one game. Of course, that can switch back and forth daily. As to who's got the division lead. And and I think I said a few weeks ago that that division is going to be come down to the last weekend. I think it really will. I think we won't know who's going to win that until the last weekend of the series. I think both of those teams are going to be there. Both of them are going to make the playoffs. I'm pretty confident, but I think that's what we're going to see.
Do those two teams have the horses to win the World Series?
Yes.
Okay.
I think either one of them could.
We talked about the Central. Let's go to the West. The Astros lead the Mariners by 3.5. Both teams struggling. Astros have lost 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. The Mariners have lost 6 out of 10. It's a 2-team race. Do the Mariners have the horses to overtake Houston down the stretch?
So we'll see what Dan Wilson can do, because, the Mariners, even right here in a pennant race, fired their manager, Scott Service.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit.
When they did it?
I thought the timing was really odd, but they decided to make that change. Maybe they think that they need some new blood in the dugout to kind of motivate the team. I don't know, but
I think it would mess up the team chemistry, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, but they brought in Dan Wilson, who is a sort of a Mariners legend. He's a guy that everybody probably would look up to on that team because of what he's done in the past as a player. So, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what they're able to do. Right now, they're only one game over 500. And 3.5 games back in the division, 5.5 games back in the wild card. I mean, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that they had one of those wild card spots, and I thought they would probably keep it, but they haven't.
Wild card teams right now in the American League would be Baltimore, Cleveland, and Minnesota. With Boston on the outside looking in, so it'd be the Orioles, Cleveland, and Minnesota. Today we started with the playoffs. In the National League, got one brewing, got a good one going. The Phillies and the Braves have woke up. They've won 2 in a row and 8 out of 10. The Phillies have won 4 in a row and 6 out of 10. 6-game differential. As we said, they'll open up a series Friday night for the weekend in Philadelphia between the Braves and the Phillies. It's going to be a big, big series. And so, the Braves are getting it together. And the guy kept saying, for me, we talked about this several times, I kept telling you all, see, when Matt Olson got going, the rest of them would get going. Matt Olson's getting going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is. And it's still amazing to me that the Braves are able to continue to do what they're doing with all the injuries that they've had, because, Marcell Ozuna's been hurt. And he's a guy that I think will be in the conversation for MVP this year. Could win the Triple Crown. He's not in spot to do it at this point, but it's possible. And, so the Braves are winning hurt. And when you can continue to do that, who knows? They're 6 games back, and, we've got just a little over a month to go. That's kind of tough. You got to pick up more than a game a week.
So their success, do you give credit to Snitker for the way he's managed this team through all these injuries, or just because they have so much talent?
Well, I think Snitker plays a big role in that, but I think it also speaks a lot about their depth in their organization. They've got guys that they've been able to, and they've been willing to go out and pick up guys too. Jorge Soler, that was probably a good pickup for them. And I don't think we even mentioned it, that they designated for assignment Eddie Rosario.
Yeah.
Cut him loose after they went out and got him as well, which I thought that was an interesting move. But if you look at his numbers, it was probably justified. So anyway, but the Braves, even when you think that they're going to hit a losing streak, they just don't. I mean, they've had a couple, but they come out of it. And even though they have serious injuries, every team can say, well, we're hurt. Every team can say it, but the Braves have been hit pretty bad.
Oh, absolutely. Strider, Acuna, just to mention just
Yeah.
2. Jimmy Stout says Braves can't win in Philly. That's the issue. They don't play good in Philly.
So that is true. That is exactly right. And the Braves fans do not like the Phillies. Let's just face it. They don't. That's what
With
I
good
hear all
reason.
the time. Yeah. Phillies fans are – so I've been to a couple games in Philadelphia.
Pretty hostile, isn't it?
It is a very hostile environment. Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't have a dog in the fight up there. So I'll tell you how long ago it's been. I saw the Phillies and the Expos play. That's been a while.
Yeah, that's been a while.
But yes, and Philadelphia has a reputation for their fans, and let me tell you, it's justified. We were at the old Veterans Stadium. That's where we went, yeah.
Yep. Expos and the Phillies back in the Mike Schmidt and Luzinski days.
Well, it wasn't quite that long. It was when the Phillies, it was 93, because the Phillies won the pennant that year, played in the World Series.
So who were the big dogs on the Phillies team at that point?
Darren Dalton was the catcher. John Kruk was the first baseman. Dave Hollins, I think, was playing third base. Pete Incaviglia was one of the outfielders. Jim Eisenreich.
So that was a little past after Mike Schmidt and those boys.
Yes, yes.
In the Central. By the way, we're talking to Greg Sal. You see on the screen, Mr. Baseball. Hello to Kara Tomlinson. That's a new name. Thank you, man, for watching the show. The Brewers and the Cubs, a two-horse race. I mean, it's been such a wacky division all year long.
Yeah.
One time was the Pirates challenging. They were in the lead. Reds have played well. The Cardinals played well throughout the season. And now here are the Cubs playing well.
Yeah.
They've won 2 in a row and 7 out of 10. They've cut it to 9. The Brewers lead it by 9 in the Central Division, but now the Cubs are the hot team, and it really has been a wacky division, isn't it?
It has. It's so the Brewers are going to win the division. I'm very confident of that with a 9-game lead over second-place team. Even if a team gets like super, super, super hot, the Brewers are going to have to lose some games. And here's the thing about the Brewers: on paper, they're not that good.
No,
they are
right.
not.
No,
but nobody told them that.
Yeah,
I think they really don't know that they're not supposed to be winning. I mean,
that's a great point.
They just go out and do it. They just go out and
win.
win.
Yeah.
And if you look at them on paper, you're like, how does this team beat this team? But in baseball, that's how it is. Anybody can beat anybody.
Well, and right before the season, they lose their ace, Corbin Burns. You think,
Yeah.
okay, we both said, well, they're in the tank. They've done anything but the tank. They're
Right.
75 and 56. One of the top teams in baseball right now.
And here's the thing about them: they have owned their division. They destroy the teams in their division.
Yep.
I mean, the games that they lose, they seem to lose against other teams. They don't lose against teams in their division. That's key. That's key.
Big weekend coming up in Darlington, and Jeff Burchell will be along to talk about it. It's the final race of the regular season for NASCAR. Who's going to be in the playoffs, and he'll take a look at that coming up. He's our next guest here on the show. In the West, still playing good baseball, the Dodgers, 78 and 54. They're 3 better than Arizona and San Diego. The Padres have won 3 in a row, 6 out of 10. The Diamondbacks have won 6 out of 10. And the Dodgers have won 7 out of 10. So it's a red-hot division. The Dodgers play the Orioles again tonight. Then they looked at their schedule. They've got trips into Atlanta later on in September. They've got, well, I had it yesterday, now I forgot, but I know they're going to come into Atlanta for a big weekend series in the month of September. They go to Arizona this weekend to battle the Diamondbacks. It's been a really, so they go back-to-back with the Orioles and the Diamondbacks.
And the Diamondbacks have been really hot.
Oh, absolutely. That's who's chasing them.
Yeah.
So that's head-to-head coming up this weekend, along with the Phillies, as we said, hosting Atlanta. Kansas City will go into Houston, and that's a good one, too. The Royals and the Astros, 2 front runners.
Yeah.
And then the Reds host Milwaukee so they can do some damage or play spoiler or whatever. But
yeah.
I keep looking at this team. They've lost 2 in a row, 7 out of 10. I keep thinking, I mean, I'm not in for firing people, but there's something not right in Cincinnati. They just run hot and cold, and I mean, it's like this all the time, up and down. And so, I mean, is it the manager? Do you like this guy? Don't like this guy? Is it injuries? Why are they so inconsistent?
So if you look at the decisions that the manager makes, sometimes you do scratch your head, and I realize he's looking at all the analytics, he's looking at the numbers, and he's trying to put in the best players that he thinks can be successful against a certain pitcher, or the pitcher that can be successful against a certain hitter. He's trying to do that, and I get that, but there's certain things that they do that I just think, why? I mean, they have this rule, I guess. I don't know, but they're consistently doing it, and it consistently doesn't work. It's called the contact play. If they have a runner on third base, he's supposed to go on contact. I can't tell you how many times guys on third base have been thrown out at the plate because of a ground ball to the third baseman. And they should not be running.
No, that's basic baseball.
Yeah, but they have this contact play. As soon as the ball is hit, take off.
Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
My Little League career, I did that once. So, ground ball to third.
I did it in high school.
And I'm standing in third, and I broke to the plate, and I'm slow as molasses. He threw me out about 48 steps. So Mr. Roberts says, Coach Roberts says, Mr. Taylor, can you please, I got to the dugout, can you please explain what in the Sam Hill you were doing there? I said, I don't know what I was doing, Coach. I didn't know what to say. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. He said, why don't you go, you see down through there, Mr. Taylor? I said, yes. Why don't you go out behind the field, and I want you to run wind sprints. I want you to run 10 between left field and right field. This during the game.
Oh, wow.
We're going to pull you out of the game for that really dumb move of yours. You're going to go down behind the fence. And you're going to run 10 wind sprints and come back. And let's talk about it.
Okay.
There wasn't much talking about it. I went back and ran it, so this is
Yeah.
in the middle of the game. He lifted me, put me to running. He said, can you please tell me, I can still see him, this has been 40 years ago. Can you please tell me what in the Sam Hill you were doing? Ground ball to third, you broke for home, and you're
Yeah.
slow as molasses anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach. So that's contact play. And
Yeah.
the Reds do it all the time.
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. It's what they're told to do. I totally disagree with that. So I think they do have some issues as far as strategy goes. That
That just sounds like poor communication.
I just struggle with that. I mean, no, they're told to do it. They're told to do that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I struggle with. I'm like, why? This just doesn't make sense. I guess they have a lot of speedsters, but still, Ellie De La Cruz is one of the fastest players in baseball, if not the fastest. And I've seen him get thrown out at home I don't know how many times because of this.
So you're standing at third. You got to have one foot on the bag, obviously.
Well, no, they have a lead. They have a lead.
Well, they come off a little bit.
Yeah, they have a lead.
But not a lot. Maybe a step or two. Ground ball to third. They break for home. The odds, the percentages are very low you're going to make it home. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
You're going to get thrown out
Yeah.
at the plate. Anyway, that's what the Reds are doing. So, hello to Felicia Costco in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello, lady.
Wow.
Thank you for watching. She watches every Friday night, too. Hello to Ron Ratliff, Vernon Russell. I think Vernon's in Texas, I think. Nick Cortez, hello to you. Caleb Ripley, that's a new name. Thank you. And so we're here live talking with Mr. Baseball. You like that? You like your daddy being called Mr. Baseball? Oh, she does. Okay.
Hey, she said it was cool, Tom.
Cool. Wild card, if we stop today, Arizona, San Diego, and the Braves will be in the playoffs. And that's if we stop today, and we don't. We got a whole month of baseball left, and so we're doing good. Thank you, Nick.
And
We're
I'll
doing
just
great.
tell you, I think San Diego thinks they're going to win the division. I think they really believe that they're going to catch the Dodgers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that.
I think they really think that they're going to step it up a notch and catch the Dodgers.
They're out 3, is that right?
Yes.
They're out. 3. They and the Diamondbacks are out 3.
Yes.
Padres have won 3 in a row and 6 out of 10. And so, well, I mean, I guess anything can happen.
It's possible.
3 games is not insurmountable. That's
No,
doable, isn't it?
It is. It's doable.
So, in closing here, I know you got to get her to work and you got to eat. So, but in closing, let's look at this. So, realistically, in the division, Yankees and Baltimore, a game apart, very much doable, obviously, to take it over. Kansas City and Cleveland, the Royals leading by 1 percentage point. And the Guardians are second, and the Twins are 2.5 out. That's doable too, right?
Absolutely.
Then you look, the Astros are 3.5 over the Mariners. That's doable, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. 6 game differential between the Phillies and the Braves. Is that doable?
That's going to be tough.
Okay.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be hard.
All right. But they play head-to-head on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Friday,
Saturday, and Sunday.
After that series, we'll know.
Yeah. Milwaukee by 9 over the Cubs. Lock it down, Brewers.
Yeah.
And then as we talk, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres, that's doable too. 3 games differential.
Yeah, absolutely. That is.
All right.
That's possible.
So we got some good ones going. So between this now and next Wednesday,
Yeah.
coming out of Labor Day weekend, it's going to be on.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
It is. It
Yep.
is.
So if you stop, I'm going to do this every week now. If you stop right now, based on how everybody's playing since last Wednesday, who's in the World Series?
Wow.
Because it's changing every week.
It is changing every week. Because last week I think I said the Phillies and the Guardians, right?
You did. You did say that. Who you like now?
So if you were to ask me right now, because of the teams and the way they've been hot,
I'm asking you right now.
Kansas City and Arizona.
Abigail just fell out of her chair.
I know. Kansas City and Arizona.
Okay.
Last week I picked 2 different teams. I picked Philadelphia and Cleveland.
All right, I'm gonna go with this too. I'm gonna pick them too.
Yeah, you pick them too. Look at that and see what you think.
All right, the World Series, if it started today, who's going to be in the series?
The way they're playing right now.
Right now, I'm going to put in there the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I'm going to put in there the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
If they were playing today, just based on how hot these 2 teams are. Now that means
She fell out of her chair again.
Okay, smarty pants, who would you take? Oh, there you go. So
She says she doesn't know, but not the Royals.
she thinks we're morons, but she don't.
She don't know either.
She don't know.
We may be too, but at this point, they're playing really well.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to change it. Going to make a change? We'll change.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go Dodgers and Orioles.
Dodgers and Orioles.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to take the Orioles. I like the Orioles. I love the Royals. I like the Royals for the underdog team.
Yeah.
No question. They weren't supposed to be here, were they?
No, they were not. Nobody expected this, really. I mean, so they made some good moves, and everything. The Seth Lugo move was huge for them. That when they picked him up last year, that was or before the season, that was awesome. That was just a great move.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry, yes, sir.
Go get him. Go get him, Tiger. So we'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think it's the last time I've ever told a grown man to go get him, Tiger, but I just did. We'll take a break. Jeff Birchfield next talking NASCAR. Big weekend. It's in Darlington. The track too tough to tame. A lot of guys on the bubble to get into the playoffs. As Andy told, Barney told Andy, it's big. Big weekend in NASCAR. He tells us all about it next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tom Taylor Sports Show got a brand new product. Tell me what's going on.
We sure do. We have contactless Visa debit cards, and some of you all have been asking and wanting to know, when are you going to implement that? We are hitting the ground running. So right now you can get your free instant issue contactless debit cards at Northeast Community Credit Union, and that's just another form of payment. So you've got the mag strip on the back, you've got your contactless, invisible, what you want to call it, if you want to pay that way for tabless, or you've got your chip. So we're just staying up to date with all the things, and we listened to you. So you wanted that, and that's what we can provide. And we've implemented it with hard work, behind the scenes, a lot of teamwork, effort, and come get your contactless Visa debit card today.
Available now.
Yes.
At all locations. Our locations are?
They are in Rome Mountain. They are in Elizabethton, one in behind Elizabethton High School, our main office. And then we have one off of 19E in Elizabethton. We have one in Johnson City off of West Oakland Avenue.
Social media, how do we find you?
You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, or BeMyCU.org.
And the magic main number is?
423-547-1200.
Brand new product from Northeast Community Credit Union. Proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello to Sandra Green. Hello to Karen Mann. That's a new name. Thank you. Colin Nidifer. Jerry and Carolyn Bruce, Nick Cortez, and I got them all for the time being. Thank you all for watching. Our final guest, we bring him in. We talk a little NASCAR. My man, Jeff Birchfield for the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. And, man, we're here. It's it. It's showtime, isn't it?
It is, man.
The heat's on.
It's ready.
Pressure.
Final race of the regular season.
So, I've never been around these teams. Well, I've been around a little bit, but you're around them a lot. So, the guys are on. Is there pressure? This is a dumb question. I know you're going to say yes. Is there pressure? They're getting ready to leave their garages and head to Darlington, knowing when they leave, the team ownership, the owners, people are signing the checks. There's an expectation you better get in the playoffs, right? The heat's on?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
It is true.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, you're driving for me, and I'm writing you checks, writing all the team's checks. I'm thinking, okay, we're on the bubble, and I want to look at you and go, let's get this done. You best be coming getting in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, some of the team's contracts are obviously based with the sponsorship, incentives and all. If they make the playoffs, further they advance in the playoffs. So, yeah, the pressure's always on, right now.
Harrison Burton out of nowhere wins Daytona last weekend. What's that do to the playoff point scrambles? It scrambled it up?
I scrambled it up big time. It looked like Chris Buescher was probably in, and then Ross Chastain and Bubba Wallace would be fighting for that final spot. Now all three of those guys are fighting for that final spot, and if someone like it's, definitely conceivable for Kyle Busch or someone else to win at Darlington that's behind them in the points, and then all three of those guys could be out of the playoffs.
So we've got it right here. Who is in trouble as far as getting into the playoffs? Because that's the goal. It's like anywhere else. Their goal is to win races and ultimately win championships. Right now on the outside looking in are Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, Todd Gillian. We'll go down a couple more. Carson Hocevar, Michael McDowell, and Josh Berry. Those guys on the outside looking in. But the closest, of course, are Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man. So heat's on those guys in particular, right?
Yeah, those guys. Ty Gibbs could be in a little trouble there. He's 39 points above the cut line, but I mean, if he had a terrible race and went out early at Darlington, it's conceivable he could, get knocked out of the playoffs.
Busher too, right?
Yeah, Busher as well. I think Bubba and Ross Chastain, that's not that far of a margin, 21 and 27 points, that they could definitely, make those up, especially the way those guys have been running lately. They both, and Ross runs really well at Darlington, had a great chance of winning a couple of years ago, and he and Kyle Larson got into it late in the race.
Tomorrow will be at Port Travis Deli in Elizabethton. Friday, Food City Friday. Kickoff, hard to believe, Labor Day weekend. I don't know where the year's gone. As I've said all week, it seemed like it's Valentine's Day the other day. Here it is, Labor Day weekend. Here are the drivers in if they stop today. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman, Harrison Burton, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, and Chris Buescher. Those are the guys that are in. Of course, Austin Dillon is not in, and we know that story. But Harrison Burton is in. So you take two guys that used to be teammates, a.k.a. Keselowski and Logano. Now, do they help each other on the track now? Do they remember the old days, or it's like every man for himself?
Pretty much every man for himself. I mean, I think if they're in a position where they could help each other, one of those drafting tracks, they would probably, help each other before they would some of the other guys. But, I mean, ultimately, they're not on the same team anymore. And even though they're both Ford drivers, I think it comes down to, doing the best for your team, really.
So you look at the championship, you got Tyler Reddick, got Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott. Those are the guys trying to win the regular season championship, right?
Yeah, and I was actually fortunate enough with the Bristol Motor Speedway crew to go down there Monday and talk to, Tyler Reddick, which was really good and stuff.
So there's pressure on him, too.
A lot of pressure on him. He wants to win that because you got the bonus points that goes with it,
So you get in that car on what's going to be Sunday night for the Darlington race. The Cookout Southern 500, you have absolutely no control of you do, to your point, your driving ability. You could have a flat tire, you could have anything go wrong. Somebody hit you, knock you out of the race. I mean, there's just so many intangibles and variables in every race that you don't even control over. But in particular, this one, where you're trying to win a championship for him or the regular season championship, these other guys trying to get in the playoffs. Man, I guess I would be in there. I guess a nervous wreck, I suppose, the whole time. Of course, you just drive the car because there's things going to happen you have no control over, but there's just so many things can go wrong in a race, isn't there?
Yeah, and especially at Darlington. As you said, it's been nicknamed, the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. There's always the famous Darlington stripe where guys do run a little too hard and get into the wall, and, they're running about an inch from the wall anyway most of the time to get the fastest lap around there. So takes a lot of skill, a lot of concentration, and all it takes that one little mistake, and sometimes you can be knocked out of the race.
Is this the track? Remember right, the Chastain last year went down to rub the wall? Was this track? Was another track? Everybody got all wound up because he did what he did to win the race.
Oh no, that was Martinsville, where he rode the wall he actually didn't win. He finished ahead of Denny Hamlin and made his way into the Final Four of the playoffs there.
So disregard what I just said. I missed the track, missed the whole thing. So that's what happened up here. See, he don't miss anything, but I don't know what I did yesterday about half the time. So, and that's okay. I'm in my own little bubble, and I'm all right with it. I live in my own world. Hello, Gator Man. How you doing, sir? Thank you. You're very kind with your words. So, Darlington, I do remember this from the past. You said the sand, because it's sandy down in Darlington, and the sand will, from time to time, come across that track, and it eats up the tires, doesn't it? It's tough on tires in Darlington.
It sure is. I mean, you're exactly right on that. That's the thing with Darlington, and back when Rockingham was on the schedule, sort of the same thing, whereas in North Carolina, Sand Hills. So, yeah, it makes a abrasive surface, and that's one thing, it makes it almost like driving on ice, sometimes. So that's another, challenge at Darlington that the drivers put up with.
So I'm going to talk about my guy. Bush is out of it right now. He's trying to get in, so there's got to be added pressure. It's the same thing as I just said earlier. I mean, every drive, every turn, every break, every pit stop, everything is hanging in the balance. So, you start in February, the Daytona, and here we are down to the final race. I mean, it's just pressure, and, how do you handle it if you're a driver? I mean, again, you know what you got to do, but there's so many things that can happen out there you have no control over. So how do you handle that kind of situation?
Well, I think, you got to be aggressive, but like I said, if you get too aggressive, then, it's going to come back and bite you. I guess the guys who are probably in the best shape are, you mentioned Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski, guys like that are sort of the middle of the pack where they really don't have anything to lose this weekend because they're not high enough in points where they're going to win the regular season championship, but they're already got the win. They're guaranteed to move on to the next round. So, guys like that are in really good shape right now.
So they're in. They're just going to go out and race.
They're in. Them, yeah. Daniel Suarez, some of those guys, maybe from 4th through, 13th or 12th in points, those guys are in great shape.
Middle school football tomorrow night. Our first game, T.A. Duggar, the Fighting Cyclones, have outscored their opponents 121-18. They'll play Daniel Boone Middle School tomorrow night. We'll go on air at 5:30 with the broadcast. And Friday night, Morristown West comes down. The Trojans in the 9th meeting between the two, the Trojans and the Cyclones. Airtime 6:50 right here on the Tom Bailey Sports Show Facebook page and YouTube, and also on the Cyclone Network. So it's another big weekend of high school football. It's here, and so you're covering NASCAR. So who typically runs well at Darlington? It is nicknamed the track Too Tough to Tame. The Black Widow. Things can go wrong real quick in Darlington. So who typically runs well there?
Well, I think Brad Keselowski won there back in the spring, but typically Denny Hamlin's probably the best driver down at Darlington, because he's the guy that can be really smooth, at times like that. So that's a track that seems really tailor-made to him.
Like that. Say, what kind of track is it?
Track Too Tough to Tame, or tailor-made.
Tailor-made.
Yeah, tailor-made. That's good.
There you go. That was good. Smooth. Worked my name in there. That's good.
Hey, I'm actually getting ready to cover golf here in a little bit, so they'll have some tailor-made clubs out there.
There you go. He's on it now. Tailor-made. There you go. Hello, Lauren Harris. How you doing, sir? Hope you get feeling better, sir. We are live again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Have you had the banana pudding milkshake yet?
I have not yet.
Oh, get that today if you want to get it. Lawsy mercy. Real bananas. The peach milkshake's gone. The new seasonal shake is the banana pudding, and you get real bananas and crushed up vanilla wafer cookies crumbled up. Oh, lawsy mercy. With whipped cream and a cherry on top. And also the new seasonal sandwich, as my brother used to say, couldn't talk plain. Sandwich, honey pepper pimento, original, spicy, and grilled. Have those choices. That's the new seasonal sandwich here at Chick-fil-A, and all Chick-fil-A's, Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth and due to open up next week. We're due to be back in there starting on Monday, September the 9th, so we're excited to get back there. Of course, we've been treated like royalty here, and so that's what you've got. Now, we've got the playoffs starting next week, starting where, in Atlanta, is that right?
Yeah, Atlanta, another drafting track, which it's a little different than Daytona and Talladega, only a mile and a half, so a little different way they race there.
I love the fact they've included Bristol in the playoffs. It should have been all along. They have, but it's great because they're going to be coming in and race. It's the cutoff race of the first set, isn't it?
Yeah.
Atlanta, then they go to
the road course at Watkins
Glen,
and then the short track at Bristol. So 3 very diverse type of tracks.
Yep. And I applaud NASCAR for doing it that way. So they'll be coming to Bristol on September the 21st. 21st, yep. For the Bass Pro Shop night race. Tickets are on sale to come to Bristol. Short track racing this week around here. What's going on? Speedway?
Well, Kingsport Speedway back in action. Of course, I'm like you at this time of year. Once high school football starts, I'm covering it all the time. So,
yeah. September, I think, is the coolest month of the year. You have baseball independent races, college football started, NFL starting, NASCAR's in the playoffs. I'm leaving off something, or high school football.
NBA usually starts the preseason.
Yep. So there's so much going on in the month of September. To me, it's the best month of the year sports-wise because you have all these overlaps going on. So, and he's right, high school football and college football cranking up. Georgia and Clemson. Who you like in that game right there?
Well, I always sort of pulled for Clemson, but I think Georgia, is obviously, they're number one team in the AP poll. I think a lot of people picking them to win their third national championship in 4 years, I think are going to be pretty tough to beat for sure.
You've been following East Tennessee State in a training camp. They go to Boone to play Appalachia State. Tough place to go. What do you think about that one for the inaugural coaching debut of Trey Lamb?
Well, I was looking at that first, and like a lot of people, I was thinking, golly, that's going to be such a mismatch. ETSU probably going to get crushed in that. Then I got looking at it closer, and, the game over there last year, App State opened with Gardner Webb, who was coached by Trey Lamb. And Trey Lamb's got 24 transfers from Gardner Webb on this year's ETSU team. So I don't think that – I think, App State's obviously going to be favorite. They're like a 32-point favorite, but I think ETSU could definitely beat the point spread on that. I think they could give them a competitive game.
Do we feel an upset brewing is what you're telling me?
I don't know if I go that far. Not a brewing that kid brewer, but I would believe, we would.
And you're on it today.
I am.
Man, oh, man. You've had your Wheaties. You're on it. Hello to T. Duggar, Lady Cyclones Soccer's watching. Floyd Nave's watching. Michael Stafford's watching. Thank you all for being a part of the show. So it's NASCAR this weekend, the Cookout Southern 500 in Darlington, which is not that far from here. It's 2 hours from Tri-Cities, basically.
No, it's more like about 4 hours. It's about an hour before you get to Myrtle Beach is where it's at.
Oh, well, I went there last year to the beach. I don't guess I should tell them myself. It didn't take me 4 hours to get to Darlington. I must have been flying. I don't remember going 4. I thought it was like 2.5, but
you were,
I maybe just told myself. So
you were eastbound it down, loaded up in the truck.
I wanted to put my foot in the surf at the beach, and I had the pedal to the metal. You better believe it. So I could smell that salt air and the seafood at the beach. You better believe it. So Darlington's going to be a good place to go this weekend to watch the race. Is it sold out yet? Do you know?
I haven't seen where it's sold out yet, but I would expect it to be. And Darlington's a great track. If anyone's never been there, it's egg-shaped oval, 1.3 miles. It's a little different than anywhere else where NASCAR races at. So that's, one of the cool things about it.
Jeff Birchfield, sports writer of the Johnson City Press. Always appreciate him coming by. Get yourself some lunch. You hungry?
Yeah, definitely hungry.
All right. See you next Wednesday. Unless you have a schedule change, you'll be here. I hope. We'll get ready for the NASCAR playoffs, so thank you, sir.
Well, you're welcome, sir. Good to be here.
You're the man. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at some more sports before we sign off right after this. Football promo, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Eddie Pless and yours truly this Friday night. Another non-conference matchup as the Cyclones host the Morristown West Trojans at Citizens Bank Stadium. Both teams looking for the first win, as last Friday night, the Trojans lost to their crosstown rival, Morristown East, 26-14. Airtime at 6:50, kickoff at 7:30 Friday night. The Cyclones and Morristown West, it all starts again at 6:50 this Friday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube and on the Cyclone Network. Go Cyclones!
In a world where clutter, trash, and debris threaten your property, one man is ready to save the day. He's Container Man, your dumpster delivery superhero. Need to clear out your garage? Call Container Man. Remodeling your home? Call Container Man. Demolition waste taking over your job site? Call Container Man. From minor to major projects, Container Man has the perfect size dumpster for every task. With lightning fast delivery and the customer service of a locally owned company, he will help you restore order to your world. When you're ready to fight clutter, trash, and debris, call Container Man.
Aaron Kaiser, from Physical Therapy Services. So one of the things you guys treat is fibromyalgia. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So a lot of times the best thing that you can do for people that have fibromyalgia is get them moving in a comfortable way that they feel safe and that they feel comfortable and like they have control of the situation. So we have the anti-gravity treadmill, the Alter G, where we can offload them, get them moving. We have the new step, which they like because they're not full weight bearing. They can adjust that. And overall, just patient education, teaching them how to move in that pain-free or that more comfortable way for them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
good stuff. They offer a lot of services, of physical therapy services.
Mhm.
How do we find you on social media?
Facebook, we have an ortho clinic that has a Facebook page, and then a pediatric clinic that has a Facebook page.
They've been with us since day one. Proud sponsors. I love promoting these folks. Again, Dr. Danny, Dr. Justin Smith, Dr. Sylvester, Dr. Aaron, and all the other great folks, sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports Physical Therapy Services. And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We're going to wrap it up here, but we got to do a little bit more sports. Let me turn this back around here. In no particular order, Crockett will be at Cherokee, Greenville hosting Dobbins Bennett, Johnson County will be at Hampton to battle the Bulldogs, Rye Cove at Hancock County, Morristown East at Hardin Valley. Volunteer travels to Lakeway Christian. Tomorrow night, a Thursday night game, Pigeon Forge will play at Northview Academy. Back to Friday night games, Anderson County will be at Science Hill, Sullivan East at Tennessee High, Happy Valley at Unicoi County. Thursday night, Cloudland will be at West Green, and then a Friday night game, Daniel Boone at West Ridge. Get our game, Cyclones at Morristown West on Friday night. Airtime at 6:50, kickoff at 7:30. Right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Well, we'll be at Food City on Friday. Food City getting ready to make a check presentation. In fact, they did it Monday. Food City, new track and field complex, a 5-year, $50,000 sponsorship from Food City, $10,000 a year. Help provide financial and in-kind resources to help develop greater mental health advocacy, as well as bolster instruction in fitness, nutrition, and leadership skills. So what are you trying to say, Tom? I'm trying to say Food City gave King University $50,000 spread out over 5 years, $10,000 a year, to help with their athletes, which is very impressive. T.A. Duggar football tomorrow, 5:30 airtime, 6 o'clock kickoff. The Fighting Cyclones, the varsity, outscored their opponents 121-18, which is incredible. 121-18. That's pretty dadgum impressive. The junior varsities outscored their opponents 72-0. So there you go. We'll have them tomorrow night, home opener. Be a huge crowd. And it's interesting. T.A. Duggar's fan base will outdraw some high schools around here. It's incredible. We're tickled to be a part of it, and so we'll have that. We'll have our players of game pick tomorrow night. Hello, Brenda Blevins. Hello to Steve Shipley from Spring Hill, Tennessee, down in Middle Tennessee. Julie Eastep. Hello, lady. Probably here tonight at the church house, be my guess. We got church tonight. Some churches still have church on Wednesday. Man, I grew up in the Bible Belt up in West Virginia. We always had church on Wednesday. Some churches don't do it anymore. We do it. We still have, 100, 150 people there for church tonight. And we appreciate Mark Fowler and what Pleasant Beach does to make sure we have church on Wednesday night. College football tomorrow night. Who's playing where to kick it off on a Thursday, Labor Day weekend? I'll say it one more time. It's hard for me to believe it's Labor Day. Seemed like the other day it was Easter, Valentine's Day, Picket. Labor Day? What is it? What's the countdown to Christmas here? Let's see here. I want to say 118 days, see if I'm right. Then we'll go down to the college football and give you the verse of the day, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see what we got. How many days till Christmas Eve? Yep. 118 days till Christmas Eve. There you go. You're going to laugh at me. I did some shopping yesterday. Well, squirrel it back and hide it, but just make sure I don't forget it. I was cleaning the house back in the summer, earlier in the summer, and found stuff I'd set back for the girls from last Christmas. I thought, oh, well, I'm 3 presents to good now. If I found what I hid from myself and hid from them for last Christmas. Goodness. So here we go. Let me read this verse and we'll get into the college football. This is what's going to happen when you and I, when we have a desire for God, to obey Him, to lean on Him, to live for Him. It's in the book. You can read it yourself. Psalms 91, verses 14, 15, and 16. This is what He says. This is God talking to us. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him for he acknowledges my name. Verse 15, he will call upon me, and I will answer him. Me, oh my. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Verse 16, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation or eternal life. Whew, lousy mercy. Doug Wolf used to be up in New Jersey. I don't know if you still are or not. How about that? If that don't get you fired up right there, that your wood's wet. You can read it for yourself. Psalms 91, verses 14, 15, and 16. I will take care of them. Because they honor me and they love me and they acknowledge my name, I'll take care of them. When they're in trouble, I'll bail them out. And I'm paraphrasing, that's what he said. He's talking about you and me. That's the benefit when you obey him, try to live for him, lean on him, obey him. Just read what he said he would do for us. It's a promise. All right, Thursday night football tomorrow night, 24th ranked North Carolina State hosting the Catamounts of Western Carolina. 11th ranked Missouri tomorrow night hosting Murray State. 22nd ranked Kansas against Lindenwood. And 12th ranked Utah hosting Southern Utah. These are checkbook games. They're going to get their brains beat out and get a checkbook and head on home. Kind of how it works. On Friday night, one game, 16th ranked Oklahoma Boomer Sooner hosting the Temple Owls on Friday night. Then on Saturday, got a full sheet, and here we go. Early games. 8th ranked Penn State will travel to West Virginia in Morgantown. 25th ranked Iowa, without their head coach, got suspended for the first game. Hawkeyes will host Illinois State. 12 o'clock ABC, the big one, top ranked Georgia, 14th ranked Clemson. Will Clemson give them a game? They should. Will they beat them? I don't think so. But you never know. Now, they got some problems at running back for Georgia right now. Robinson's with a turf toe. He's out. Etienne got arrested for DUI, drunk driving, and reckless driving back in May. I'm not sure they've dealt with that yet. And I'm going to say they probably won't deal with it this weekend either, but I don't know that. 15th ranked Tennessee and Chattanooga at 12:45 on Saturday from Neyland Stadium. 17th ranked Oklahoma State entertaining South Dakota State. 19th ranked Miami on Saturday, taking on the Florida Gators at 3:30 in the Swamp. 4th ranked Texas hosting Colorado State. Number 2, Ohio State. The Buckeyes in the shoe in Columbus hosting Akron. 5th ranked Alabama. Coaching debut in Alabama, Kalen DeBoer will be hosting Western Kentucky. Should not be a problem. 18th ranked Kansas State will be hosting UT Martin. You have no clue who that is. We'll get it after the show. Kansas State hosting UT Martin. We told you 6th ranked Ole Miss, the Rebels hosting Furman on Saturday. 20th ranked Texas A&M against 7th ranked Notre Dame at 7:30. Also 3rd ranked Oregon hosting Idaho at 7:30. Michigan in the Big House, 9th ranked defending national champion Wolverines, 9th in the country preseason, hosting Fresno State. I hate what they're going to do to Michigan because Harbaugh danced away and got away from all this. And also the assistant coaches who were guilty of what all they did, they're now in the NFL. They can't touch them. They said, well, if he ever comes back to college sports, we're going to get him. Well, why would he come back to college sports? He's making a boatload for the Chargers now, and he's not coming back. And they're not going to be able to get him. So the current Michigan coaching staff is going to pay the price for what Harbaugh did. And Connor Stallions, who said, again, I didn't do it. Okay, whatever. So how do you he was a paid employee of the University of Michigan Athletic Department. They sent him to the games that Michigan were going to play future opponents and put him where he could see and take pictures of them, might add, the signals down on the bench of the opposing team in which they would be playing later in the season. University of Michigan Athletic Department paid for the tickets to put him where he could see to take pictures of the signal calling. He says, I didn't do it. Okay. Well, let's see your cell phone. No, you can't see my cell phone, but I didn't do it. Totally unfair, I think, to the current Michigan staff and what they've got to, they're going to get the fallout of what happened with Harbaugh. He's gone. Hello, Leanne Combs. Where have you been? Well, I've been working at the dealership, our title sponsor, Ford of Elizabethton. 21st ranked Arizona on Saturday, taking on New Mexico. The one game on Sunday in Vegas. 13th ranked LSU and 23rd ranked Southern Cal will square off. And then the final game of college football in week number 1, or week 2. Week 1 was last week with Florida State and Georgia Tech and Dublin, Ireland. So Labor Day night, Monday night, 10th ranked Florida State will take on Boston College in Tallahassee. And that's your college football top 25 schedule for this week. That's going to do it. We want to say thank you. Please go to collinsandcompany.info and bid on this auction to help out the organization called Waiting to Hear. They are taking 100% of the proceeds from this auction and donating it to the Waiting to Hear organization. And what do? They get hearing aids for kids free of charge who otherwise couldn't be able to afford them. As I've said many times, I got these earpieces in right now so I can hear myself. Couldn't do the show, couldn't hear myself. So, we talked about this yesterday. If you can't see and you lose your sight, you can go by doing it by Braille. And you can do, if you cannot hear, you can do sign language, but you can't really do a show doing sign language. I sit there with Greg Salyer, talk to all these guys, and, unless they can sign, I couldn't understand what they were saying. That's how important hearing is. Another gift from the good Lord. So these kids can't hear, so this organization is doing an auction, online auction, and 100% of the donations will go to buy hearing aids for these kids. So please go to collinsandcompany.info and bid. Just scroll down to where the auctions are and bid on this one. There's a lot of them out there, but please bid on this one. I think they got 4 or 5 auctions going right now. Please bid on this one to help these kids, called Waiting to Hear, giving hearing aids to kids who can't hear that otherwise couldn't afford the hearing aids. They're not cheap. So please do that. I'll thank you ahead of time for that. collinsandcompany.info is where you go to bid on it. Let's see, I can pull it up here real quick. I don't know how much longer you've got. It's I think it's like in the halfway point of the auction. Let's see if I can find it here real quick in my stack of stuff before we get out of here. Because it's important to say, yeah, here it is right on top. Thank you, Lord. Through September the 10th, here it is. Waiting to Hear. collinsandcompany.info. I appreciate David wanting to do this, help these kids out. David Collins is a good guy. So you can go there and check out what you can bid on it and help raise money for these kids' hearing aids. We'll close out by saying happy birthday to former manager and player Lou Pinella's 81 today. Ron Guidry. What do they call him? Louisiana Lightning. Ron Guidry, 74, former Yankee pitcher. Olympic gold medal skater Scott Hamilton having a birthday today. He's 66. Shania Twain having a birthday. She can still bring it. Shania Twain, 59 years old. Happy birthday to Jason Priestley, the actor. He's 55. Leanne Rimes having a birthday. She is 42, and those are the birthdays here on this Wednesday, August the 28th, our final Wednesday of the month. Hard to believe, August is winding down. That's going to do it from here. Thanks for watching show number 2138 of the Tom Baylor Sports Show, live from Chick-fil-A here in Johnson City, right down the street from Best Buy on People Street. Tomorrow in Elizabeth in the Poor Trav's Deli, hanging with Richard and the boys, Trey and the gang, making those steamed sandwiches, which are really, really good. And then Friday, we'll kick off the Labor Day weekend on a Food City Friday. We'll be live at Food City in Elizabethton. So for our guest today, Greg Salyer, Jeff Birchfield, Andrew White, we thank you for being with us. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We always say that and mean it. And we always wrap it up by saying, bloom where you're planted. Mama used to say it every day. Going down the hill to catch the school bus, say, boys, bloom where you're planted. Okay, Mama. But she's right. Bloom where you're planted. Make a difference wherever you are today. And for goodness sakes, win or lose, be a good sport. Saw them go off the other night at the ball game, going nuts. At a ball game you have absolutely no control over. Either a high school game, a junior game, middle school game, college game, Those are the ones I get tickled at. These guys throw their remotes up against the wall and shatter and bust them. Bust TVs. I know a guy breaks TVs. Busted 2 or 3 TVs. Throwing his remote because his college football team didn't do good. So he asked me, it's been about a year and a half ago, what do you think, man? I said, man, I bust up another TV, another remote. My guys didn't do good. What do you think? I think you're an idiot. That's what I think. Told him to his face, I think you're an idiot to get that worked up in a ball game. You can't do anything about it. You know, I got one playing. Do I want her to do good? Absolutely. I'm her biggest cheerleader when she's out there on the floor. I stream her games. I'm all for her doing well. But I told her multiple times, my love for you has nothing to do with how many shots you make or miss in a ball game, basketball game. Your love is not predicated on how you do on the basketball court. You have a bad game, you have a bad game. And you know what? When I played and I had a bad game, I didn't have to get in the car and get chewed on. I knew I had a bad game. I didn't have to be reamed and reprimanded or told or whatever, and he didn't. My father didn't. Because when you stink it up, you know you stink it up. You don't have to be told in anything you're doing. If you have a bad day at the work, you have a bad day in the classroom, bad day on the ball field, ball court, nobody has to tell you you've had a bad day. You know that. So to put them in the car and chew on them, what? What were you thinking? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? First off, these kids don't do it on purpose. Okay, they dropped the football. They fumbled it. Do it on purpose? No. Missed a field goal? No. Missed a three-pointer, missed a foul shot, missed this, missed that. Dribbled the ball off their foot out of bounds. Struck out, the bases loaded. Picked a sport. Did it do it on purpose? No. So the grown-ups that are down the throat of the kids, they make mistakes? Yes. Anyway, win or lose, please be a good sport. Easier said than done in this society, in this culture. It's just unbelievable how we go nuts over everything we go crazy over. And again, I'm the first one to tell you I want mine to do well. But if she doesn't, it's okay. See you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. If you don't have a church home, please come join us tonight at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church. Hello, Ashley Harrison. That's a new name. Thank you for watching. We'll be attending church night at Pleasant Beach. We got the Master Club with the kids back in the Bobby Stout Family Life Center. So if you don't have a church home, we start at 7 o'clock. Love to have you tonight. Pleasant Beach Baptist Church, Watauga Road in Elizabethton. If not, we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Poor Trav's Deli in Elizabethton. Can't wait to get me a sandwich over here tomorrow from Poor Trav's. But I can't wait to go get me a banana pudding milkshake right now. That's where I'm headed. Thanks for watching the show. Show number 2138 on this 28th day of August at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on